Justin Baldoni has experienced a major setback in his legal action against Blake Lively and her husband Ryan Reynolds. According to documents obtained by enews, Judge Louis J. Lyman granted a motion on June 9th to dismiss the $400 million countersuit filed by the It Ends With Us director and star, as well as Wayfarer Studios and several of its staff, against Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, and their publicist, Leslie Sloan. Baldoni's $250 million lawsuit against the New York Times has also been dismissed. In his decision, Lyman addresses two of the main arguments in Baldoni's suit. First, that Lively, assisted by Reynolds and Sloan, stole the film from Baldoni and Wayfarer, threatened to refuse to promote the film, and attack Baldoni and Wayfarer in the press if the Wayfarer parties did not agree to grant her, rather than Wayfarer, control over and credit for the film, which they claim to be civil extortion. Secondly, Lyman addresses the claim that Lively, Sloan, Reynolds, and the Times spread a false narrative that Baldoni committed sexual misconduct towards Lively, and the Wayfarer parties then engaged in a smear campaign to ruin her reputation through, in part, the publication of the New York Times December article. On the first claim, that Lively and parties committed civil extortion, the dismissal rules the Wayfarer parties have not adequately alleged that Lively's threats were wrongful extortion rather than legally permissible hard bargaining or renegotiation of working conditions. It also notes that regardless of the propriety of Lively's alleged actions, they don't qualify as civil extortion under California law. On Baldoni and parties' claims of defamation, the dismissal notes Wayfarer parties have not alleged that Lively is responsible for any statements other than the statements in her CRD, or California Civil Rights Department complaint, which are privileged. Additionally, regarding comments made by Reynolds, Sloan, and the Times accusing Baldoni of sexual misconduct, the dismissal adds, but the Wayfarer parties have not alleged that Reynolds, Sloan, or the Times would have seriously doubted these statements were true based on the information available to them, as is required for them to be liable for defamation under applicable law. Lyman notes, however, Baldoni's legal team can still file an amended complaint, changing only the allegations relevant to the claims of tortious interference with contract and breach of implied covenant with a deadline of June 23rd. Following the suit's dismissal, Lively's lawyers Ezra Hudson and Mike Gottlieb shared a statement with enews calling the ruling a total victory and a complete vindication for Blake Lively, along with those that Justin Baldoni and the Wayfarer parties dragged into their retaliatory lawsuit. The statement continued, as we have said from day one, this $400 million lawsuit was a sham, and the court saw right through it. enews has reached out to Baldoni and Wayfarer's legal teams for comment, but has not yet heard back.